Welcome back to EPRS Chronicles and our series on the cost of non-Europe, where we analyze the cost of not acting together at EU level and highlight the benefits of more joint EU action. In episode 1 and 2, we look at this cost of non-Europe in areas such as internal market, labor, social policy and health. And we discussed about what we achieved so far at EU level. In this third and last episode, we will focus on the impacts of common EU action in the digital and green transition. For that, my colleague Alksandra Heflich and Lenka Jancova, policy analyst at EPRS, joined me today. Welcome, Alksandra.
Hello.
Welcome, Lenka.
Hello, Lauro.
Let's start first from Alksandra. As we know, EU is a global leader in fighting against climate change, calling on the other big emitters to follow its example. Can we do more? Especially in times of multiple crises such as the COVID pandemic, Russian invasion of Ukraine and high energy prices?
Thank you, Lauro. Indeed, European Union is a global leader when it comes to fighting climate change. We want to achieve net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050. We also want to keep the warming of our planet to 1.5 degrees Celsius compared to pre-industrial levels. And we want to do it all in an economically, environmentally and socially sustainable way. However, despite we have already done a lot, continuing on the current trajectory will not allow us to efficiently decarbonize our economy, and also it will not allow us to substantially cut our fossil fuel imports bill. The crisis you mentioned have actually exposed many vulnerabilities and unaddressed challenges, such as EU dependency on imports of energy sources, as well as affordability of energy and its impacts on EU citizens and businesses. In our research, we found that large benefits can materialize for the whole European Union, but only if the green transition is accelerated and we act together.
What could be the benefits of a united EU action in the green transition?
Our findings on energy system transformation, as well as the findings on damages that we could avoid if we stop climate change at 1.5 degrees, show that an ambitious net zero scenario by 2050 could bring economic benefits of nearly 420 billion euro per year by 2030, and more than double this amount by 2050. Realization of this net zero scenario by 2050 could also generate 2 million jobs in the EU, but to unlock these benefits, several pieces of the puzzle need to come together. First, we need to protect our environment. Second, we need robust regulations, for example, to improve energy efficiency or to reduce emissions from transport, but also we need a well-functioning internal energy market. Third, we need to ensure united energy security policy as well as global multilateral cooperation on energy transformation. Fourth, we need a long-term thinking and have an ambitious EU-level financing mechanism of the transition with a particular focus on innovation. Last but not least, we need a fair transition that will distribute its benefits and that will leave no one behind.
We have heard, Lenka, that the green transition should be inclusive and leave no one behind, just as Alksandra explained. What is the situation when it comes to the digital transition? Are we ready to embrace it?
Thank you, Lauro. Although the COVID-19 pandemic has accelerated the digitalization of the EU economy and society, there is still a lot to be done. Currently, only 54% of Europeans have basic digital skills, while the EU target for 2030 stands at 80%. When it comes to businesses, only 55% of small and medium enterprises are digitized, while the target stands at 90%. There is also a significant gender dimension, as women are underrepresented in the digital sector. Only 1/3 of the graduates in science, technology, engineering and mathematics are women, and only 19% of information and communications technologies specialists are women. Other gaps include cybersecurity concerns and lower uptake of digital technologies, or lack of investment and access to capital. These gaps have negative economic and social impacts.
A lot should be done. What can the EU do to address these gaps and the barriers to reap the full benefit of this digital transition?
In our research, we assume that EU action would actually reduce the negative impacts of gaps and barriers that I mentioned earlier, while bringing us significant economic benefits. Concretely, we identified several policy measures, such as introducing cybersecurity standards, increasing research, development and innovation, and policy support for small and medium enterprises. These would yield benefits of at least 300 billion euros per year by 2032. Besides the economic benefits, it is also important to mention other positive impacts, such as on innovation, competitiveness or greater trust in digital technologies, eventually resulting in a higher uptake of these technologies by citizens and businesses.
Thank you. Now I have a question for you both. Looking forward, as both the green and the digital transition are key challenges, what are the three takeaways for policymakers to bear in mind?
Yes. First, we should not be afraid of ambitious, bold and solidary action at EU level. Second, we need long-term thinking beyond the usual 4 or 5 year policy cycle. This includes mapping impacts of the transformation in long term, like, for example, in 2050 horizon. Third, building on the experience from recent disruptive events such as COVID pandemic or Russia invasion of Ukraine, when preparing new policies, we should consider potential extreme scenarios that may materialize. And stress testing might be a useful tool for this.
Thank you.
It is crucial that we address the lack of digital skills jointly at EU level. This goes hand in hand with enhancing trust in digital technologies by making them safer and more resilient against cyber attacks. Secondly, we should strengthen research, development and innovation, including support for SMEs in their digitalization efforts. Finally, we need to make sure that digital technologies, such as artificial intelligence, reflect EU values, including protection of fundamental rights and gender equality. This can be done, for example, by avoiding gender bias in the data that is used to train the artificial intelligence algorithms.
Thank you, Alksandra.
Thank you, Lauro.
Thank you, Lenka.
Thank you.
And thanks to all other colleagues that participated to these chronicles and in the writing, the mapping of the cost of non-Europe study. One of the takeaways from this study is that ambitions and united actions at EU level will largely result in long-term economic, social, environmental benefits for EU citizens. Thank you very much, and don't forget to check out our study. Thank you.